Hello, everyone. This is AZ Crypto going live on the last day of February, Tuesday, February 28th. We are now a day and a half away from a huge day for the Voyager bankruptcy. So this Thursday, March 2nd, is when the judge is going to come in and he's going to rule on several things. We're going to get clarity on the objections on the Binance deal. We're also going to get some clarity with what's happening with Almeida and FTX in terms of, hey, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. If you could hit that like, hit that subscribe button to all of the viewers that have followed us. We greatly appreciate it. Mr. FOMO out today, bit of a family emergency, so I'm flying solo here. We had hoped to do a two-man show, but it was not to be. Hopefully, he'll be back on Thursday, and we'll have a huge recap. But I just want to talk about Thursday and how important it is. One, it's going to give us clarity in terms of, is this actually going through for sure? And my belief is the answer will be yes. Now, interestingly enough, earlier today, and less 2 hours ago, actually, Voyager itself, not the UCC, but Voyager, tweeted out the results, and they said that 97% voted yes. We already knew that, but they claimed that accounted for 98% of customer money, which was interesting to me because I knew a lot of people didn't vote because they didn't like any of the categories. You know me, I was all for the toggle. So, a great question by Simon about the from SEC. And from what I've read, the SEC objection is how they're going to allocate the tokens after they go to Binance. So I think the judge is actually going to take care of that. I don't think the SEC objection. It sounds really harsh and serious, but I don't think it's going to stop the deal. So an FTC, I don't think that's going to stop the deal either. If you read those objections, um, they're really about how Binance is going to handle certain things and how the tokens were handled, but I don't think they're stopping the deal. I really do not. I could be wrong, but my theory is the deal is going to go down. So recovery, really, what we're waiting on now is this money that's being allocated. Right now, there are mediators between Voyager and Almeida and FTX. So we got that horrible news that over 445 million was being withheld. I don't think that's going to be the situation. They're not getting all that money. Yeah, Sam's got 18 allegations from the government of fraud. So that's first. Second, um, F, here's the deal. This is kind of for me a last ditch attempt at FTX and Almeida to get something back before the customers do. I think something will be worked out. Now, whether or not that's announced tomorrow is to be seen. I think ideally for us customers, it would be great if the judge came out and said, all right, here's the situation between Almeida and FTX. You got to remember the UCC tweeted out that there was some type of agreement between the UCC and FTX, but they didn't really, they talked about $75 million and how that was worked out. They didn't talk about the over 400 million that's kind of being argued about right now. So my feeling is we're going to know a lot. We might not know our exact number, but we're going to kind of have an idea of, okay, the judge is going to say, you know what, here's the situation of FTX. We're only going to withhold this amount, and here's what the mediators are comfortable with. Hopefully, we get that decision tomorrow, and then we'll have a much better sense of what recovery is. So, right, recovery, as ETH, which is one of the tokens that we want to do really well because Bitcoin has gone down a little bit recently. That's gone down. Right now, if you look, Bitcoin is at 23,000. You might say, okay, that sucks because we were at 25 not so long ago. But do you know that in the month of February, we were sitting under 17K? In fact, 16,817 is where we were at as late as February 8th. Now, that may sound like a long time ago, but remember, February is a short month. It wasn't that long ago. Just 20 days ago, BTC was under 17. So I remain hesitant that BTC is going to knock down 30 anytime soon. But I do think that we could have okay. Remember last March, BTC did pretty well before the bottom kind of fell out in April and May. And you remember Luna, that kind of spurred everything. So yeah, so good. Luna points out at 17K, we're at 57% recovery. Yeah. So there's some optimism here. And again, it really depends on the FTX issue and what we find out on Thursday, right? So I think recovery, I'm going to estimate here, and that we don't know till they do the moving averages and all that stuff. But um, if you, here's the thing. Um, Obviously, the Almeida situation really clouds it. But if you're expecting 50% back, I think, and it sucks, but from where we are, um, like, yeah, let's hope that it's. I don't, and Luna, I don't think it's going to be more than 50 million. I mean, I really think they'll negotiate something smaller. That's just my opinion. Hopefully, I'm right. I don't want to get people too excited, but if you're expecting 50% recovery, I think, not no guarantee from us, but I think you're going to get it. I really do. Now remember, if you have not gone in and opted in to have that crypto transferred in kind to Binance US, I would highly recommend it. Now, if you already have a Binance US account, supposedly they will take care of that. I received the email that I don't need to do anything, but I haven't received an email from Binance US that my Binance US and Voyager account have been connected. So I'm still waiting for that. I'll check my email after the show actually to see if it's gone through. Um, but yeah, I mean, here's the exciting part. Exciting is very loose here because it's been a nightmare. Um, this could be over the next 4 to 6 weeks. We could start getting our crypto in mid to late March. Probably we're looking now, if I'm being realistic, probably later March, right? But sometime in April, when baseball season starts, we could finally be at bat with some of our whatever is left. It sucks because that this tax season has come up, and I know ideally there would have been a closure to the situation before the end of December, but closure to me is just so important, and a lot of people need that money for several reasons, right? Not just crypto recovery, but daily living, right? And so that I think that's what's important is people have been waiting for a really, really long time. So if this is all over, if everyone gets whatever they can get back in the situation in mid-April, and who knows with Three Arrows Capital, right? It would be amazing if you saw recovery from that. I'm just saying, do not count on it, right? If you got to check in the future 5 years from now, great. But that Three Arrows thing seems it has a timeline of an eternity, and it's just unfortunately the way it is. Um, but let's really, really hope here that this at this point, I was hoping for the toggle. The toggle obviously is not happening. Supposedly, though, if this deal didn't go through, there would be a toggle. Timeline for that, I would say less than 8 weeks because they've already done everything they need to do. Right? They've kind of real. You've heard the rumors that Voyager's kind of been reallotting some tokens because they're ready to ship some out, I think, to Binance, and they're just getting ready for that. And so you do want to get on the front lines. I like highly recommend. Um, yeah, so people are asking about the SEC. I really don't think, again, the SEC objections are going to stop this deal. It looks really bad on the surface. It does, but if you read into it, I think it's something that can be overcome. I really do. And if you read between the lines, Binance is really, really confident this is going to go through. Binance US, that is. Voyager is really confident it's going to go through. The UCC is really confident. So I do want to address clawbacks. They will very unlikely do clawbacks in Voyager, and here's why. Do you remember there was a bank run before the bankruptcy? A lot of people were selling their crypto into cash and then returning it back to their bank. Voyager does not have legal right to any cash. Um, so some people were withdrawing and transferring to other crypto places and wallets. But the majority of customers, if you go back into June when the news hit, they were selling tokens into cash and then trying to get it out of there. If you remember, they knocked down the withdrawal limit by half of how much you could take back to your bank. Now, after bankruptcy was filed, they still honored some of those requests. People were still getting emails up to 2 weeks later saying your withdrawal went through and it went into the bank. And then they reopened the app, if you remember, a month later. It was a good 6 weeks later, actually. And later in the summer, right? People were actually given access to the cash that was left in the account. Remember, cash was treated differently. So because Voyager treated cash differently in their user agreement, clawbacks would be extremely difficult. It would have to be insider trading. You'd really have to have a lot of evidence. I just don't see customer clawbacks. I really don't. It's a huge hurdle, right? it's very negative. Um, Binance US doesn't want that. They want people to stick around. They're not doing any clawbacks. And for Voyager to do clawbacks, see, I think the UCC could go after some of the head honchos, right? And they're still wind down money for that, right? They're keeping some money to keep their options open legally. But customer clawbacks and retail, I just do not see it. I really do. I mean, here's the deal. They already admitted they didn't own your cash, right? So now they're going to try to go back in June and May and as early as April and say that the cash withdrawals to people's banks, they're not, it's not happening, guys. It's just not. They've already legally said the cash is not ours, right? And they open up the app to give people back their cash. So to do clawbacks now, I just don't see it. They did go after people that claimed fraud and tried to do their own like version of cashbacks with their banks. Those people they went after. But if you are a regular customer and you withdrew 3 months within that bankruptcy date, I don't see any way they're going to do clawbacks because again, they opened up the app and said, "Here's all the cash that's left. Come in and get it. It belongs to you. It doesn't belong to us." So Celsius is a very different situation because they didn't have that cash user agreement that Voyager did, right? So just keep that in mind. There was no Metropolitan Bank of Celsius that was supposedly holding all the cash. But again, Thursday is a huge day, huge day. And let's cross our fingers and let's try to get some positive vibes going. Um, I'll always dislike and really have a strong hatred for what Steve did. Absolutely. But right now, I'm trying to think positive. For me, all the people out there in the recovery family that watch the show and even people that don't, I want what's best for everyone in this community. And what's best for everyone in the community is for people to get their money back, crypto back in kind as much as possible in the next 4 to 6 weeks. That's what we need. That's what we want. And that's what we deserve. Enough is enough. And this is time for the judge to really show who he is as a human being, right? He legally, right now, should be sticking up for the creditors. And no one can tell me he doesn't know that the creditors are hurting. He knows. And it's time. He's got that power. Okay. Yeah. VGX token, you're going to get back what you're going to get back, right? But there's no utility for it, right? It's a mem token at this point. Do have a crazy theory that when people get their crypto back on Binance US and the Voyager token almost goes to zero, someone will pump it just as a mem coin. I actually do believe that, not financial advice, but like if you remember early bankruptcy, it pumped up to over $1 with less than 24 hours. So as you guys know that you're in crypto, if you're new to crypto, the smaller the market cap, the easier the manipulation, right? Someone puts a lot of money in, hope people follow. Within 24 to 48 hours, boom, they take out that money. They made a quick profit very, very quickly. So I actually do believe because of the amount of press that Voyager will get when this finally does close. Because remember, Celsius still isn't close to closing. That they're once people get a hold of whatever's left on the Voyager tokens and they get rid of them and it goes down to almost nothing, I could see someone trying to pump and dump it. I really could. Not financial advice, but I would definitely sell my VGX and maybe consider just getting a little bit more for the short term to see if someone does do that pump and dump. So just again, not financial advice, but would not shock me one bit. I don't know if it'll go back up to $1. That's probably stretching it, but could I see this thing going back down below 20 cents to 15 cents and then someone pumping it a week after everyone gets all their funds back and it looks like it's dead to 50 cents and start some crazy rumors that someone's going to use the use it for something? Yeah, I could see that. I just don't, just be careful, right? We've been burned enough with the VGX token, but I could see a pump and dump this spring. One last thing, and I want people to be careful because there's still some people on crypto Twitter that are calling for an early bull run. And guys, has there ever been a bull run a year before the halving? And the answer is no, not a full bull run. It's not that BCC can't go up, but anyone that's calling for 40, 50, 60K BTC, I would be very worried because it goes against all the statistics and the environment out there right now. So just be very hesitant to, I would say, be very hesitant to go all in, as we say. But hey, we're getting closer to 2024. I do anticipate a bull run. It seems that regulation is coming, but a much smaller pace. they've already announced, the US government, they're never going to ban crypto. It's just they want some type of firm rules and regulation in place. We'll see what that looks like. It seems to me that there's still a lot of uncertainty, and I think this next bull run is going to be somewhat similar because I don't think they're going to come out with a list. All right, here's all the securities, here are the non-securities, here's what you guys can buy in the US, here's what you can't. I don't think that's going to be clear before the Bitcoin halving. Just my opinion, could be wrong, but we will see. You guys want to make sure you tune in Thursday because we are going to have the latest from what the judge says, what the court rules, our new timeline. Hopefully, we get even specific dates on Thursday in terms of when we can first see our crypto into Binance US, and then obviously how much we're getting back. Hopefully, we get a lot of questions answered on Thursday, and we will be here to help you guys out. This is AZ Crypto saying thank you so much for supporting the channel. Please hit that like, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that notification button, excuse me. You guys have a great night. Thank you so much.